Go where your nameplate is today. Oh.
We're joined by the University of Miami coach Jim Larinaga and the student athletes to my far left, Isaiah Wong, Nigel Pack, Jordan Miller, and Norshad Omier. And we'll start with coach's comments.
Well, obviously, I felt like we played a great game tonight, and I really felt we would because of the way we played on Friday night against Drake. I think our guys were a little disappointed we didn't handle that defense very well, and we've been a very good offensive team all season long. Sometimes we haven't been quite as good at the defensive end, but we ended up out-rebounding them 48-31, and it's been my experience that every time we out-rebound an opponent, we normally win. So Indiana is a terrific team, and Jackson Davis is unguardable one-on-one. So we basically put our whole team on him. Started with Norshad on him, and then Anthony Walker guarded him, and then Jordan Miller. And we just try to give whoever was guarding him a lot of help from behind by the guards. And I thought we did a terrific job of that.
We'll open it up now for questions for the student athletes. Just right in the back here, to the left. Go ahead.
Sam Fetterman, Mid-Major Madness. Isaiah, you've been here throughout last year, this year, and what is it like to be a part of the most successful run in Miami basketball, making 2 straight Sweet 16s for the first time in program history?
It's just an honor being part of this program with the history we have. It's just we have a great team this year and last year too. And I feel like it's great to see that how we came up. My first 2 years we wasn't as good, but for the last 2 years we went to Sweet 16 and last year Elite 8, and I'm appreciative, and I just love this team.
Go ahead right here.
Isaiah, Zach Mason with the Miami Hurricane. You erupted tonight after not exactly erupting on Friday. Did that performance motivate you for tonight?
Yes, most definitely. I feel like I didn't play to my full potential last game, and I feel like I had my team gave me another chance to perform, and I appreciate them for that. We won the game 2 days ago, and today I performed well, and I appreciate the team for that, helping me out, giving me passes, and getting me in the rhythm.
Row 2 right here.
Michelle Kaufman with the Miami Herald. Nigel, can you talk about, growing up in Indianapolis, playing Indiana in a big game like this? What did this game mean to you? And it's your first time playing in the tournament, making the Sweet 16, and especially against Indiana.
Yeah, it's definitely a blessing to be here. Childhood dream to play in this tournament, and then getting to play against your home school is obviously an amazing experience. But this tournament as a whole has been a great experience. This is our first stop, but obviously we got plenty more stops to go. But so far, it's been a great experience. It's been a lot of fun playing with my guys, and winning is the most fun. So I'm definitely enjoying it.
Dana O'Neill with The Athletic. For all you guys this is for anybody, for all you guys have accomplished, especially in the last 2 years, do you still feel like you're a little underappreciated? And if so, why do you think that is?
Jordan.
I wouldn't say underappreciated, but at the end of the day, all we can do is just come out and win basketball games. I feel like winning a game in itself is a way to get recognition. We're going to the Sweet 16. That's a lot of recognition. We don't necessarily care about what the media says. We're all focused on just inner locker room stuff, coming together, pulling together, and just playing our best basketball every night.
Gary Furman, CaneSport.com. If you guys collectively could just talk about the preparation for this game. I mean, from the opening whistle, it shone through on both sides of the floor. I know they took a lead for a few minutes there at the beginning of the second half, but just the effort that you guys put into the last couple days getting ready for this game.
I would say that nothing is given. We got to come out and play, and preparing for this game, we know that IU was a really good team, and they are a really good team, so we had to come with our A game. I think all my teammates knew that. We was on the same page, and we bring our A game from the beginning.
Hey, Norchad, Luke Cheney with Lifelong Sports. I noticed when Indiana made that run in the second half, you kind of motioned the team together and went and huddled. Just what was said in that huddle, and just talk about the run you guys made in the second half.
I think we pulled together, and we talk about that runs happen in games like this. They're a great team. We're a great team too. We just got to pull together, and I think we did just what we had to do in that moment. We didn't, fall under pressure. We just stick together and keep playing the basketball that we bring the first half. We bring it the second half also.
Trevor Andershock, Peaks.com. Norchad, you had a great offensive rebounding performance against a team like IU. How did you do that? What led to your success tonight on the offensive glass?
17.
I don't know. If I'm being honest, I really don't know. I just like playing with my teammates. They always motivate me to go do what I love to do, and I love rebounding. So, I just went out. Zay, Nigel, Jordan was scoring. I just went to do my job. I rebound, and that's what I did.
Last one for the players. Go ahead.
Rick Bozich, WDRB in Louisville. It seemed like you guys spread them out and beat them off the dribble quite a bit. Did you feel like you had an overall advantage in quickness and you could do that?
Yeah, I feel like, we got a lot of versatile guards on the floor. It makes it really hard for them to guard us, especially when guys are making shots from the outside. It kind of makes them expand their defense a little bit. And once they do that, and they got a principle of trying to pack the paint. And once they kind of spread out, I feel like our foot speed is really fast, and it's kind of hard to keep us in front. It's a lot of different guys that can do that on the floor at once.
Student athletes, thank you for your time. Good luck next week in Kansas City. Now we'll open it up for questions for the coach. Right here.
Coach Zach Mason with the Miami Hurricane. Just wondering how Woog is doing. He hit the deck pretty hard and then limped off. How's he doing?
He landed on his bone on his backside. So I told him he has to spend the next week nursing that. I don't know what you do with that. I don't know if you ice it or you get a massage therapist or, but we're going to give him some 10 to 11 care, and hopefully he'll be back before too long.
Hey, Jim, Michelle Kaufman again from Miami Herald. Can you just talk about the opening of that game, the start of that game, compared to, obviously the other day was a completely different story. It just, from the opening whistle, it seemed like your team was just flying and playing with so much confidence and joy. Why do you think that is?
I mentioned earlier, they were not happy. The team was not happy with the way they played Friday. And now you see, like, Isaiah just exploded, 27 points, and was just terrific the whole game. But the two guys that got us going to start with was Nigel and Wooga. Those guys got us some key baskets early. And sometimes when you just get a couple of early buckets, it loosens up your team. And I thought tonight, the way we defended and kept them from scoring early gave our guys a lot of confidence, because we were up 10 in the first 5 minutes or 6 minutes of the game. And when you do that as a player, you feel like, oh, we're playing well. And then we just kept it going. If you notice, one thing, I don't know if anybody would have picked up on it, I never called a timeout. Not in the first half, not in the second half. Even when we fell behind, I felt like, no, our guys are playing hard and playing smart, and they'll figure it out.
Jim, Michael Rothstein, ESPN. What does it say about your program at this point that it's made back-to-back Sweet 16s for the first time in the history of it?
I think so much credit belongs to my assistant coaches for the job they've done in recruiting these players to Miami, and to the players themselves who work so hard. We have 2 transfers and 4 freshmen. Last summer, I saw them bond so quickly, get along so well on the court, off the court. We just have really enjoyed each other's company. The coaches have the players over to their house. They hang out together. Coach Courtney is in the gym rebounding for Isaiah Wong like at 6:30, 7 o'clock in the morning most days. Isaiah wants to shoot on his own in a quiet gym, so he's there. And when you have an associate head coach like Bill Courtney, you really appreciate all the little things that he does. He was responsible for recruiting Nigel and Norchad, and Jordan Miller and Charlie Moore. So, got to give credit where credit is due. Great staff, great players who really bonded, and makes my job very, very enjoyable.
Yeah, Jim, Rick Bozich, WDRB in Louisville, right here to your right. Same question I asked the players. Did you feel like you guys had an advantage in quickness and speed, and you could beat them in straight line drives off the dribble?
Here's what I've told the team long before the season started. We're not the biggest team. We're not the tallest team. We're not the heaviest team. So if we're going to be successful, we got to be the fastest team on the court. And maybe even if we're not, we got to believe we are, and we've got to always use our speed to create opportunities. Most of that means you've got to be able to utilize your skills. So you're fast, but if you're out of control, it doesn't work. But if you're fast and skilled and you can shoot a jumper, like you see Nigel making some long distance threes. Someone asked me, do I ever get mad at him for taking the shot? I said, no, he can make them. I see him every day in practice make them. So you got to always shoot the shots you can make, and these guys are very good at shot selection.
Coach, your team scored 85 points. This is the most that Miami's ever scored in a tournament game. Just what were some of the things you did offensively that led to this type of performance?
We shot the ball really well. The game is, I tell the players all the time, the game is pretty simple. We got to put the ball in the basket. We got to keep the other team from putting the ball in the basket. And the way you do that is you play great defense. You run back and don't give them any fast breaks, because when you don't get back, they get a layup or an open three. So we got to get back and set the defense. And tonight we needed to pack the lane. Against Drake, we had to come out and guard the three. And at the other end, we want to use our speed, get a stop, and then try to beat them down the court before they set their defense. And if we don't, we got to share the ball and get everybody involved. The job that Jordan Miller did, I don't know, how many points did he end up with? 19? Do you see him go to the basket and just take two guys right to the rim and score right on them? Guys who are phenomenal athletes, 6'10", jump out of the gym, and he's fearless. And I love coaching him. I call him the most underrated player in the country, but he should not be underrated anymore. Guy's like an All-American.
Last one, go ahead.
Matt Rybeltowski with Forbes. Jim, congratulations. To expound on that, how does he compare to Houston? You have Houston next, and what challenges does their backcourt present with Sasser and Shed?
My answer to that is pretty simple. I'm just going to enjoy tonight. I can't worry about our next opponent. I want to get back with my team, my family, and really have some fun tonight. We got to be up early in the morning and fly back to Miami, and then we'll figure out what our plan is. We only had one day to prepare for Indiana. And last night we made a decision, and this morning we changed it after reviewing them more. After researching them offensively, we had to make an adjustment before we ever even played the game. So we'll get ready for Houston when the time comes.
Coach, thank you very much, and best of luck in Kansas City.
Thank you.
We're up. Sorry. Thank you.